All right, reminder, trading is risky. Use capital you can afford to lose. E for eminywizard.com and marketwizard.com. All right, we suggested that 07 was a retest. Got to get by that, which obviously we did not. So we said it looks like the pressure is still up, and the boys for sure are going to want to knock out that 23.75 high. And I said, let's use that target of about 28 that the boys are going to try to get to. Now, I'm figuring I'm just taking this low over here and saying, well, the 07 was a prior high. So let's just think about it, trying to get to a 20-point type trade. And that's why I suggested shorts be very careful. Looks like they still want to go out and take out that 24 high. Even if we pull back, they're still going to go get it before the day's over, probably. And then the target becomes obviously this 27 to 28 area, just ahead of, say, that 100-point trade from down here, from this low at 32s, 33s. So that's the next target. Try to dislodge these traders right here on the 24th. And then the next resistance zone has got to be 38, which would be the year middle. So we can go to any day high. That's not ruled out today, although I think risk and reward is starting to come in. So anybody that is riding a trailer, congrats, but don't give back 5 or 6 to make 1 or 2 more. In shorts, I said there's no evidence that a general is pushing back yet. So these are resistance targets, but certainly there's no evidence yet that the generals have decided enough is enough. And based on what I was seeing with the NQ, there's still nobody pushing back on that. And in a trend type move, there is nothing better than to read the green and the red lines on this 15-minute chart and say, okay, as long as that's intact, that's support. We're at the end of the first hour. Now be careful of marginal new highs in this next hour that come back in reverse. And today is one of those days where Charlie Lowe's buying the highs, but he would not buy yesterday. Much better odds yesterday, actually, than today. I was off by 1 day. Go back to that other view. Remember over here, I said, we're coming into the beginning of the month. Don't get crazy here. Maybe today's the buy day because we'd had this big, long channel. And so maybe today, and then it came right back. We got the big bounce, and then we took out the low the next day. And that's when yesterday, so this was the day I thought that might be the buy day. Be very careful, shorts. And this is the one that takes out all the stops. We get the undercut low right here. Very powerful move. And that's why yesterday we said, okay, that's support till broken. So I'm looking, believe it or not, I'm looking at the key today. First of all, the 32 to 38. And obviously these highs up here are clearly the next resistance high. If you want to call that 45, 42s, 45, that's the next resistance high up there. So when we get 100-point moves, we get opposite reactions, and we've already had that type of a move here. Don't think it has to stall just at a precise 32 or 33 or whatever. But I do believe we're getting into risk reward time right now. And all I can say is typically when we get something like this, you're going to have to get a formation first. Just doesn't turn on a dime unless you're the boys. let's say that's our major support. Still going to keep an eye on 17, 18 today. We said there's a hidden pivot in there. We're going to keep an eye on that. Above that, we're still bouncing. And that 96.25 that I called as our support till broken is paid off in spades for anybody that has taken a long side trade. Last night when this came back and then couldn't undermine 82 and comes out and takes out that top, you got to assume that's your support zone till broken. And then you look for evidence of other little points. And here's our daily. So right now that 05 area, we got maybe a couple of more points. I'd be very careful longs thinking about the next few points. Just a gut feeling. I think if you get to 31 to 32, that's probably the stretch. So make sure you're paid. Anybody that's come in and bought a second time today on the long side, figure 31's the target. So a point or two more. This is a squeeze type trade. Usually when we have a breakout after the first hour, it's hard to to fight the breakout, but you have to mark that first hour high and then keep track of that to understand if we're doing a pullback or not. And I'd said yesterday that 27.32 to 33 is our next resistance zone. So you're spitting distance of that right now. Now let's review where we came up with that idea. We said this morning, okay, we're in this box. This is our support box. And now basis this scale, we've got 31.25 as the next potential resistance target. And I said, let's think about the low from yesterday at 33, trying to get almost 100 points. Seemed unlikely, but seemed like that's what that trade was designed to do. So step by step, we look for ideas along the way, and this has played out pretty well, really. Just understanding the dynamics of putting two and two together. That's a clue. And this is how bots think, and this is how I try to think. So whether we get 31 or 29.5 or 32, still the same basic idea in this type of a scale. And anybody long side, risk and reward should be coming in. And we've advised shorts, be very conservative, but you'll probably get one trade today that starts to work. Usually lunchtime, after the primary trade is done, is a better time. And we had advised earlier, you should either be trailing long or sidelines. Maybe coming into that downtrend line. The longer they go, the harder it is because you can get skewed just a little bit. But generally speaking, you should touch 3 points. So I'm going to suggest be careful. Expecting a whole lot more. Anybody that's long and strong, make sure you are tightening up your stops. If you don't want to come out, you don't think there's any way that this is going to pull back and you want to ride your trailer, fine. But again, I'm conservative. You give me pieces of the moves, I'm happy. So this is a 3-box move. And the law of proportion says you get a 3-box move, make sure you are paid. And obviously this 45 is support till broken, and ahead of that, we said that 88 zone is going to be a support zone today, just based on this box. So that's still true. All this is still true based on this scale. Do not get married to any one side. I'm not even out on Twitter. I have no idea what's being said, but I'm sure the longs are crowing right now, and shorts are saying we'll get you before we're done, and blah blah blah. Trade it. It don't matter what side you're on. Trade it. The market's going upside and you're riding it. Go, take your profits. If it's in a contra and you want to take a few points in a contra, you do it. Day like today, if you got in and understood the game was knockout 07 and then try to push the long side, you've already had your day. You don't have to sit around. So go home. Like Ferris Bueller says at the end of the movie, you still here? Go home. All right, Zeke. And I said stolen range today, and that's because of the long move. So it kind of mitigates my expectations for today. I could be totally wrong. But this is the mirror move to what we've got here. And I think we need some profit taking. Wait for evidence before you try to be the hero in short. Still not a lot of evidence. And a reminder, just because risk and reward, I said, is coming in doesn't mean that we can't find follow-up bounces to go back and still get that 31 to 33 target. Just risk and reward right now more than anything. Shorts, anything that we get coming back short side today is a gift. I do expect some gifts before the day's over simply because of the range we've got, but it's going to be whack-a-mole. It's not going to happen all in one big swoop. First sign of a big boy in the trade we're going to look for is get at least 10 to 12 points. And it would appear just ahead of that 30.5 target with 3 ticks left, that better odds coming back. Anybody that is playing scalp short side, I said, let's keep an eye on the IB high. That don't trust this. It's called a turtle trap. You break out the IB high, and then you come back. You've got to stay under that IB high. It's not just a question of undermining it, but you got to undermine it and then stay under, and that's the turtle trap. Anybody coming short side, like I said, if we get 2, 3, 4 points, you've done well against this push, because you're going to get one right. but you're going to be wrong 4 or 5 times. So it's hard. Your first goal is to try to make back what you lost if you thought shorting was the best way to go. Keep an eye on Mr. 15 because we're still riding this up. And my suggestion, remember that 1875 to 18 area. Still going to be key. We said we can go above it, and if we got back through it, then we would keep that in mind today. So this was to knock out that 23.75, 24 high, and then, like I said, much better odds. This is the first decent swing that the shorts have had. Anybody comes back into the 20 to 19.75, paid for sure. Don't squander it. Here's a 5-minute chart. Here's a first sign of profit taking. Step by step. If you got beat on a short earlier, first goal is put your money back in your pocket and work a trailer. And this is just how fast markets can turn on a dime. I still don't think there's a big one. Can't be. Make sure you're paid coming into 18. Then we need to see what happens. 23.75, got to contain this again. There's risk and reward. That's all this is. I said we still can get those targets before the day's over, but it's all about pullbacks. And now, second time Louis, anybody that buys now, be conservative with expectations.